In this fourth lesson, in the step-by-step into soloing for guitar, we're going to be dealing with some really cool stuff here. We're going to be moving around the fretboard a lot more and even getting you playing a lick or two in the third position of the pentatonic minor scale. All right? So let's just get right to it. Now, what we've got here is you're playing on the third string at the 7th fret with your third finger. 7th fret, 3rd string, 3rd finger. Play that note again. Then the 5th fret of the 3rd string with your 1st finger. And here we're going to be making a transition. So move with your 1st finger because we always lead with the 1st finger in making transitions most of the time. Play that note at the 7th fret on the 3rd string. Then your 3rd finger at 9 on the 3rd string. My tongue. 2nd finger at 8 on the 2nd string. 4th finger at the 10th fret on the 2nd string. Continue to the 1st string on the 8th fret with your 2nd finger. 4th finger at 10 on the 1st string. Now we're going to go backwards. Back to the 8th fret on the 1st string, 2nd finger. 4th finger, 10th fret, 2nd string. 2nd finger, 8th fret, 2nd string. 3rd finger, 9th fret, 3rd string. 2nd finger back to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. And 4th finger at the 10th fret of the 2nd string. Okay? So here's what it sounds like. 2, 3, go. 1 and 2 and 3. And 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now, if we count it in triplet form, here's how it will sound. 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and All right? So if you need to, rewind the video. Listen back, follow the explanation and the demonstration. Play along if you're able. I know I play it a little bit quick sometimes. But pause the video and practice it. Then, if you're able, put it to the metronome, either counting 1 and 2 or 1 and 2 and whichever works for you to get that shuffle feel embedded in your head and how that's supposed to sound. Okay? Then when you're ready, restart the video. All right. In the second example, we're going to do a half bend. We're going to start things off with a half bend. Bends are bends are bends, right? Bending strings is always the same. Your 3rd finger is on the note you're going to be starting with, right? And 7th fret of the 2nd string, your 2nd finger is there for support. Now, sometimes some people will use the 1st finger as well. I don't, but if you're finding it a little weak, go ahead and drop your 3rd finger in there right behind the 2nd and use all 3 to bend the notes. So, we're going to be bending from this F sharp to G, from the 7th fret to the 8th fret note. Just like that, on the 2nd string. Then we release it, but keep the pressure on and play the 7th fret note of the 2nd string with your 3rd finger. 1st finger back at 5 on the 2nd string. Back up to 7 on the 2nd string with your 3rd finger. But now we're going to do something a little different. I'll explain it shortly. Second finger, third string at the seventh fret. And then back to your first finger at the fifth fret on the second string. Okay, let's pause right there and I'll demonstrate how this measure should sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, now in triplet feel, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. All right, now why second finger? Well, good question. What you can do is you can play like this. Okay, by jumping your third finger over. But you'll notice that little silence there in the time it takes me to get over there. Now, if I did that lick with using my second finger over here instead of jumping my third, this is what it'll sound like. Ah. Okay, hear how smooth that sounded? Much more flowing. So sometimes it's appropriate to change typical fingering to accommodate a better flow, a smoother flow. And that's why you want to use your second finger in a lick like this. Okay, let's go to the next measure. It's all triplets. So you're going to start with your fourth finger on the 8th fret, your first finger on the first string, 8th fret, first string, fourth finger, first finger, first string, 5th fret, fourth finger, 8th fret of the second string, first finger, 5th fret of the second string, third finger, 7th fret, third string, first finger, 5th fret, third string. Now we're going to back up to the second string at the 8th fret with the fourth finger, and then first finger at 5 on the same string, then back to 7 on the third string with the third finger, first finger, 5th fret, third string, third finger at the 7th fret on the 4th string, back to the first finger, 5th fret, third string. Okay, so that measure would go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Okay, you count every note. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So now, both measures together, right? 2, 3, go. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Okay? If you need to practice that second measure all by itself, that's quite all right. Practice the first measure, practice the second measure, and then put them together and play them together. Pause the video. Rewind if you need to listen to the explanations and see the demonstration, even play along if you're able. Then pause, learn the licks well, get them smooth, put them to a metronome, play them over and over till you've got it under your fingers. And then when you're ready, unpause the video and keep going. Okay. Now for some fun. Remember we talked about moving into the third position? Well, here we go. So let me adjust my guitar a little bit. Okay, we're way up here. 13th fret of the second string, third finger, second finger right behind it on 12. And we're going to bend from that C, full step, up to D. So from 13 to 15. just like that. And then we're going to release the note, but keep the pressure on and play just 13 with the third finger. And then we're going to play it at the 10th fret with the first finger on the second string. Then we're going to move to the third string at the 12th fret and play from the G to the A. We're going to bend up to the A at 14, from 12 to 14. And then we're going to come back to the second string, 10th fret, and play that note. So you'll notice that's an A as well. So we're going from 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. We play that A note 3 times. And 3 and a, 4. Right? Okay? So go ahead, pause the video, practice that, count it out, 1 and a, 2 and a, get it smooth, and then start the video up again and we'll do the next measure. Okay, we're switching now after playing the third position. We are ending on that. Now we're just doing a slight swap to the second position with our fourth finger at 10 on the first string. Then second finger at 8 on the first string. Fourth finger at 10 on the second string. Second finger at 8 on the second string. Third finger at the 9th fret on the third string. First finger at 7 on the third string. Now we're going to transition from second to first position, leading with the first finger down to 5. Third finger at 4th string, 7th fret. First finger at the 5th fret of the 4th string. And then we're back up to the 7th fret of the 4th string with the third finger. The first finger at the 5th fret of the 3rd string. Back to the 7th fret with your 4th finger on the 4th string. So that measure would sound like this. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. Okay, you count everything. Okay, so practice that if you need to pause the video, and then we'll keep going. So, both measures put together. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. Pretty cool, huh? All right, pause the video. Play through that, smooth it out, then make sure you also count out loud. Then put it to a metronome at a tempo you can actually play this. That's very critical in all of these things. No faster than you can actually play it smooth and execute your technique fairly well. Okay? When you're ready to continue, restart the video and we'll keep going. Now for something a little simpler. For our last exercise in this lesson, we're going to do double stops. Double stops can be on the 2nd and 3rd string at the 5th fret with your first finger, and then we're going to also do the 3rd finger on the 2nd and 3rd strings at the 7th fret. Okay? And then your 3rd finger at 7 on the 4th string, and that's it. Those are the 3 components. Now, the first measure is the lick. The second measure is the variation on the lick. Okay? So you start with your first finger, 2nd, 3rd string on the 5th fret. Play it a second time. 3rd finger, 7th fret on the 4th string, back to the 5th fret of the 2nd and 3rd string, first finger. 3rd finger, 2nd, 3rd string, 7th fret, Back to the fifth fret of the second and third string with your first finger. Stay there again. And then play it again. And then your third finger on the seventh fret of the second, third string. Back to the fifth fret of the second and third string. Third finger at 7 on 4. Back to the third and second string of the fifth fret. And there it is. Okay, so here's how it will sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Okay? Pause the video, rewind it if you need to go through the demonstration, to listen to it, get it in your head. Pause the video, play through it, smooth it out, put it to the metronome, play it. Okay? When you're ready to continue, restart the video and we'll keep going. All right, well, there you have it. That's lesson 4, and that's a meaty lesson, isn't it? So especially playing in the third position of the fretboard of the pentatonic minor scale, this is probably the most involved lick you've learned yet. And that's okay. You got to learn this stuff. So take your time in this lesson. Absorb everything going on, because you're doing runs, you're transitioning, you're doing bends, and you're doing double stops. All this stuff is powerful and important. These are ideas and techniques and licks that you need to be familiar with, because I'm giving you the building blocks, the elements you need to understand. Okay? So, again, just take your time. Don't sweat the small stuff. Go over it. And if you need to start all over again in this lesson and go through it incrementally, learning each bit again, that's okay. Get it clear in your head. You get it up here, you'll retain it, right? Moving forward. All this is important stuff. So the 5th lesson will be there for you when you're ready. So I'll be waiting for you. See you then. Hi, thanks for watching. Here at Outsmart Your Guitar, we are dedicated to helping you learn, play, and grow into becoming the guitar player you desire to be. So, that subscribe button, press it and subscribe. The notification bell, press that and you'll be notified when new videos are posted. The Patreon button, that'll take you over to Outsmart Your Guitar Patreon, and you can see what we got going on there, and then subscribe and become a patron. If you don't see any of that on the screen, well, down below the video, there's the big red subscribe button on the right, and then in the description, there is a link that'll take you to Patreon, Outsmart Your Guitar, and you can check it out that way. Okay, there you go. Thanks for your time. We'll see you next time.